Good morning, everyone. This is Vishwas from edulearn.in. So, kindly subscribe the channel for more updates. Today, we are going to learn about transportation in plants. So, there are two main conducting pathways in plants, that is xylem and phloem. So, when we talk about human beings eat from mouth and they have a digestive system. And in that digestive system, they used to transport each and every mineral and water to other body parts that we have already seen in our previous video. Similarly, it happens in plants also. Plants also need to transport all those minerals, CO2, water, etc., to various body parts in order for their proper growth and development. So for that they have two things, that is xylem and phloem. These are basically two vessels in plants that helps in the transportation process. So xylem that carries water and minerals from roots to other parts of the plant, and phloem that carries photosynthesis from leaves and it transports food to other parts of the plant. Right. So xylem is basically absorbing water and minerals from roots, that is from the soil, and it is giving to all the parts of the plant. And phloem, it is transporting food from leaves to other parts of the plant. So in Xylem, no energy is used because it helps or it works on the principle of transportation. That is, you can say, a kind of pressure exerted, right? Transpiration pull, we can say it. And phloem, it works with the help of energy. That energy is taken in the form of ATP, right? And xylem, few the differences between both of them, xylem and phloem, is it transport water and minerals from roots to apical parts of the plant, and phloem, it transport food material from the leaves to other parts of the plant. Xylem, it consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. These are particularly 4 5 things that xylem is having, or it consists of. And phloem is consists of sieve tubes, sieve cells, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. So these tubes are basically kind of surrounded by certain sieve tubes and certain kind of fibers in order for their protection and transportation of the respective things. So only xylem parenchyma is living, and when we talk about phloem, sieve tube, sieve cells, companion cells, and parenchyma are only living, right? And in case of xylem, tracheate vessels, xylem fibers are dead tissues, and in case of phloem fibers are dead tissues. Xylem gives mechanical strength to the plant, phloem gives mechanical strength, does not give mechanical strength to the plant. So, xylem helps the plant to basically stand, right? If xylem will not be there, the plant will drop. And phloem does not give any kind of such support to the plant. कंडक्शन ऑफ वाटर बाय xylem इज यूनिडायरेक्शनल, मतलब ये नीचे से ऊपर ही जाएगा, राइट? ओनली इन वन डायरेक्शन, नॉट इन द अदर डायरेक्शन और वाइस वर्सा. इट वोंट बी पॉसिबल बिकॉज पानी ऊपर से नीचे नहीं, नीचे से ऊपर ही जा रहा है, बिकॉज रूट से अब्जॉर्ब होता है पानी फ्रॉम द सॉइल एंड इट गोज अप, राइट? सो एक्साइज अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर आप सोच रहे होंगे कहाँ से निकालेंगे? थ्रू स्टोमेटा, दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड इन द प्रीवियस वीडियो, दैट इज प्रेजेंट ऑन द लीव्स. एंड food material conduction is bidirectional. Bidirectional means it can go in any direction because it roots also require, shoots also require, each and every body part require food for their proper growth and development. So, but it is basically stored in growing parts or from stored organs to growing parts of the plant. Basically, food is made in leaves. So xylem is star-shaped and phloem is not a star-shaped. Xylem occupies the center of vascular bundle. Phloem occurs on outer side of the vascular bundle, tubular with hard wall cells. So xylem is basically hard wall cells. That's why they can able to provide mechanical support. And phloem is not a hard wall; it's a soft wall cell. That's why it can't able to provide a kind of mechanical support to the plant. So let's talk about transpiration and its function, how it occurs. It is a process of loss of water vapor from aerial parts of the plant. So transpiration is basically loss of water vapor, right? Okay. Now function is absorption and upward movement of the water and minerals by creating pull. तो एक pull exert होता है जिसकी वजह से जैसे you can do it at your home also, take a pipe or you can consider a kind of straw. आप straw में पानी suck करेंगे तो क्या होगा? एक तरह का नीचे से transpiration pull आएगा, right? So ये पुल क्यों आ रहा है? बिकॉज आप प्रेशर एक्सर्ट कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे प्रेशर की एप्लीकेशन है। बट अगर आप कुछ ऐसे सोच के चलें, आपके माउथ में माउथ नहीं है, वो एक लीफ है या पार्ट ऑफ प्लांट है जिसके अंदर पानी का कंसंट्रेशन कम हो गया, राइट? सो पानी का कंसंट्रेशन कम होने की वजह से वो क्या करेगा, एक प्रेशर एक्सर्ट करेगा पानी को लेने के लिए ऑन द लोअर पार्ट्स. So due to that pressure, the pani, that water from the roots, they will go upwards in the unidirectional flow, right? This is known as transpiration pull, and function is the other function is it helps in regulation of temperature in plant. So by absorbing water, plant का एक temperature maintain रहता है, right? ओके, गर्मियों में अब आप देखते होंगे प्लांट्स को थोड़ा ज़्यादा पानी देना पड़ता है एंड सर्दियों में कम, बिकॉज टेम्परेचर मेंटेन करने के लिए. तो ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ फूड फ्रॉम लीव्स टू डिफरेंट पार्ट ऑफ द प्लांट इज नोन एज ट्रांसलोकेशन. जैसे पानी का ट्रांसफर ट्रांसपीरेशन कहलाता है, वैसे फूड का ट्रांसपोर्ट ट्रांसलोकेशन कहलाता है. सो ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ फूड फ्रॉम लीव्स टू डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द प्लांट इज नोन एज ट्रांसलोकेशन. So excretion in human beings, that's the next topic. But before that, I will want you to show animated video regarding the transpiration and translocation in plants. So let's watch that. Thank you.
Xylem and phloem. The conducting tissue of a plant is made up of xylem and phloem. As we know, water is pulled from the roots to the leaves through a process called transpiration. The vascular tissue is specialized for the transport of water and nutrients. The vascular tissue extends from the leaves through the stem to the roots. Let us understand the structure of xylem and phloem. Xylem. Xylem is composed of vessels, tracheids, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. Vessels are continuous tubes formed from dead, hollow, cylindrical cells arranged end to end. Their intervening walls are absent due to dissolution. Tracheids are dead cells that taper as their ends overlap. The walls constituting the tracheids are hard, thick, and lignified. Xylem parenchyma are living cells and serve the function of storage of food. It also helps in lateral conduction of water and minerals. The other main vascular tissue is phloem. Phloem transports carbohydrates that are produced in the leaves to cells in the root and stem. Phloem is composed of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. Sieve tubes are elongated tube-like cells. These are placed end to end. They are thin-walled and have larger lumen. Companion cells are specialized, thin-walled parenchymatous cells found to be associated with sieve tube. Phloem fibers are made up of thick-walled sclerenchymatous cells and are mechanical in function. Phloem parenchyma are thin-walled living parenchymatous cells. They store food material.
Transportation in plants. At the end of this session, you will be able to know the function of xylem and phloem cells and explain transportation in plants. All plants need water. Plant roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. Water absorption is mainly carried out by root hairs. These narrow-walled hairs greatly increase the area over which water absorption can take place. Water and minerals enter the root by two pathways: apoplastic pathway and symplastic pathway. If water and minerals move from cell to cell through spaces between the cell walls, then it is known as apoplastic pathway. In symplastic pathway, The water and minerals move across the cytoplasm and finally reaches the xylem. Xylem vessels are long, narrow, hollow tubes containing no living material. The xylem transports water and soluble mineral nutrients from the roots to other parts of a plant. About 95% of the water absorbed is lost through the stomata present in the leaves. This process is known as transpiration. The number of stomata is more on the lower surface of leaves. If transpiration happens throughout the day, then there will be a great loss of water. This is controlled by the stomatal opening and closing mechanism. During the daytime, water enters into the guard cells along with the potassium ions. This brings about a change in the shape of the guard cells and the stoma opens. During the night, the potassium ions and water molecules leave the guard cells. Thus, the turgidity decreases and the stoma closes. Stomata also act as main sites of gaseous exchange in plants. Leaves make use of water and the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Glucose formed during photosynthesis is transported to the other parts of the body through phloem cells. Phloem tissue consists of less specialized and nucleate parenchyma cells, sieve tube cells, and companion cells. Transport of food in phloem can be up or down the stem to reach all parts of the plant. Hence, the transportation in plants is the function of xylem and phloem cells.